Hello again. Welcome. This is the second edition of the Cover 2 podcast. That is the official name, as is on the YouTube channel. And I think you came up with the name. We agreed with it.
Yeah.
We have some more things coming. Some work on a profile picture, a banner.
Yeah, we got one of our friends to kind of join our team, and you seemed like interested, so which is super cool. I think this is already growing bigger than I thought it would be, and like I said, when I first started it, I was expecting to get picked on, and I'm okay. I've been picked on my whole life, but yeah, it seems like people are actually pretty excited for us. I think we're excited.
Definitely.
We were kind of just looking up some names on ChatGPT and GPT and Google and this, that, and the other thing, and we were like coming up with names. Some were good but already taken. Some were a bit corny.
A lot of taken names.
And I actually saw a podcast called it was called Roughing the Passer or something like that, or something along those lines. It was a penalty call, and I was like, I wouldn't mind something that's like related to us, but also like a play or a something related to football, like just a quick name, something catchy. And when Cover 2 came up, I loved it. It's a defensive play for those that don't know. And there's two of us. We covered football. I liked it. It was just quick, easy.
We're two covering.
And no one else had it that I saw like at a larger scale, larger than, let's say, 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, there's nobody larger than 10. I think there was like a 20 subs channel, but no one really.
The Cover 2 podcast with Evan and Louie. Let's say that then, okay?
Yeah.
So
we got a name.
That's us. Yeah. Like we did last time, today is Tuesday, so we just watched the Bears and the Vikings play last night on Monday Night Football. And yeah, week one's done. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some fantasy, talk about some certain players. Might get into a little betting talk, but yeah, just kind of see where conversation goes and go from there.
Do some trivia maybe.
Trivia. I have trivia for Louie to do. We love trivia, as you've seen in the first one. But this is going to be more of a established trivia I got on my phone.
Okay, word. Yeah, and we'll go over our draft recap probably.
Yes, we're going to start off with fantasy. So Louie, you want to start us off? You heard us talk last time about our fantasy football league that we're in. We have a great league. We're going to talk about our draft, kind of how we think it goes, how we feel after week one. And so
week one just finished, so that's kind of like fresh in my mind.
I'm going to grab my phone quick to grab the draft board. Yeah, we'll continue.
So I was heading into Sunday night, I was down 46 before the Bills and the Ravens game. And I have Josh Allen and Dalton Kincaid as my last two players, which I was not expecting to get, enough points, obviously, heading into that. And even through the first half, like the first touchdown, first drive was Kincaid touchdown, which was, promising, but you never expect Kincaid to have a 20-point game. I don't think he's ever had anything above like 16 in his career. So we went into that night and, anything's possible, and he didn't have anybody playing. So obviously Josh Allen in our league dropped 39, I think it was. So we're in a 4-point passing league. And he ran it in twice. He dropped 40, and Kincaid dropped 14. I ended up winning by like 6, I think, or 7. So huge comeback win.
You want to check that for you? Or
if you want. Huge comeback win. Stole one. Like we've been talking about last time, and we'll talk about this time. My draft was not very good. So we have some work to do on that end.
Yeah. But let's put it this way. Me and Louie text often. I was about to text Louie saying, making fun of his team, because I like to make fun of Louie, as I do. There was a point prior to the Bills game where his highest player was on his where was it?
Definitely on my bench.
No, it was not on your bench. Your highest player was McConkey with 13.4 at some point.
That was my highest player.
And then Harrison kind of overtook that with 18.1. That was his highest score.
I'm very happy with Marv this year.
Yeah.
I'm excited for him.
But the rest of the team is horrible. So we're going to go over that quick.
But we made a trade. We'll talk about that later.
Right. So draft. So I, as Louis' friend, love to critique him. I despised Louis' draft. I thought his draft
didn't like it either.
I thought it was horrible. Right when he picked Josh Allen in the second round.
So since I had picked one, I think we might have talked about it a little last time. But Josh Allen was my first pick of the second round. Last pick of the second round.
Yep.
So, I mean, to see a quarterback go in the second round is always jarring. It's a really big pick. But, yeah. And he texted, we have a group chat for our thing, and you texted me, and you were like,
I said that pick is horrible. I just said terrible pick. I'm pretty flat out with Lou.
To be fair, I was a little I had to like defend myself because I always have to. So
he has to. He snaps defend himself, and then he'll like take a minute and recap and then realize, okay, man, that wasn't the greatest pick. But the thing is, he was on vacation. We were doing our draft. We were all doing it at a local restaurant, and we all just like the second he took Josh Allen, we're all just screaming, "Reach, reach!" It was really funny.
I was there.
It was a lot of fun.
I wish I was there.
When you have the first pick and you're picking Jamar Chase, which everybody's,
he was pretty unanimous first pick.
Pretty unanimous first pick.
Should have been Bijan in hindsight, but
should have been Bijan, especially in a 12-man league when running backs are so important. It's hard.
I didn't expect running backs to fly off the board like they did in ours, to be honest with you.
I totally disagree. I was fully expecting running backs to fly off the board. They do every year.
I think that was my biggest mistake, to be honest.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, there's just so much wide receiver depth throughout the draft that I kept drafting wide receivers later on because there's so much depth at that position and there's so much opportunity.
And you'll be okay. Like if you look at my draft, let me see.
Your draft's good.
I have a good draft. But let's just to kind of dissect him. So he goes Josh Allen in the second. We all scream and reach, and I know Louis very well. He talked about him last year when we were in college, how much he loved Ladd McConkey. Loved him.
I love
Had him the whole year. Ladd McConkey was one of my key players in my top 3 run for our league.
He was a lock for you just because his floor was like you would never get below 10 points. I don't think he ever got below 12.
Right. He was just a reception machine. He was kind of like an Amara-esque player, but like obviously at a smaller scale. But yeah, he loved him, and I remember turning to one of my buddies and I was like, if I know Louis, he will pick Ladd here, and everybody's going crazy because I called it. It's not that crazy. We know each other.
Yeah.
So he goes Ladd.
Should have went James Cook.
Then. Yeah, he should have went James Cook. He should have went a lot of people. At that point, I
don't like stacking quarterbacks and running backs. I'm always scared of that.
I understand that. That's fair, especially with a player like Josh Allen, who likes to run it in a lot, and James Cook.
Away the running up.
I've always critiqued James Cook. I don't think he's a crazy talented player. I think he lacks a lot of. He looked great. He looked great, but it also helps when Josh Allen is widely opening the door and nothing's going bad on offense. It's hard to say that. The Ravens defense, looked lost out there. Obviously, they are a great defense. They are a great defense, and they just could not keep up with how incredible Josh Allen is. Besides the point. I don't know. There's a lot of guys there. There's guys like Alvin Kamara available. These aren't incredible players. James Cook. There was guys like I don't know. Chuba Hubbard.
I can talk a little bit about, I guess, my thought process in the moment.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll look.
Because we just talked about how Ladd is we perceive him as a really great floor player.
Right.
Obviously with the Josh Allen pick, I think maybe subconsciously I felt like I had to take a player that I felt had a floor that was really high.
Right. We talked about those rounds being consistency. And obviously consistency is absolutely key. But I don't know. When you already go Jamar Chase, it's hard to not pick a guy just to at least have somebody, right? So the round goes on. He struggles. He ends up with 2 rookie running backs on not great offenses, not strong offenses.
Starting either.
Not really, because they're like you have rookies like Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs who come in and people know that they're going to be put into Ashton Genty. They're going to be put in the offense immediately. Then there's guys that they want to work in, right? He picked 2 guys that he wants to work in. And when you pick 2 guys that you want to work into an offense, those are guys that you want to be in your flex, or you have the depth to be able to sit them and be like, you know what? While he's getting worked in, I'm going to play a guy like Warren. Help me first name.
What? Jalen?
Jalen Warren. You can put him in until these guys, after 5 to 6 weeks, start to really, explode. Louis goes 2 guys. Henderson and Harvey, back-to-back picks, 5th and 6th round. That he already is regretting, and now he has to try to trade for it because of some immediate habits. Again, it was unfortunate. Devonta Smith has a horrible week also on his team. Jamar Chase is a horrible week. McConkey is a really, really scary now because of how great Keenan Allen and Quentin Johnston looked.
Especially in the red zone.
100%.
I think red zone targets for Ladd, another reason why I traded Ladd McConkey.
He did.
Breaking news. It'll probably go through, I assume. But he's not going to get touchdown opportunity like he did last year, and I don't even think he scored that many last year. And they're a run-first team. and
he's a slot. He's a slot receiver, so that's also hard
as well. Slot too, so there's a lot of overlap there.
So essentially, the reason we're kind of critiquing him is he had a really bad draft. Obviously, projections on ESPN aren't like the most important thing in the world, but he was projected horribly.
9th.
Out of 12, right? And
9 out of 12,
and his team was not at all a promising start to the first week. There wasn't a lot of life, a lot of things where it was like, you know what, I can see him. Like when we talk about life, I mean like volume, I mean like targets. So when a guy gets 20 carries, anywhere from 16 to 20 carries, even if he doesn't perform well, 13 targets, whatever it might be. Just the fact that he is getting the opportunity in the
in that offense.
Yes, in the offense, in the scheme, I should say. When you see, go ahead.
No, there's just certain guys are going to get work. Like,
exactly.
I mean, I was going to say Jamar Chase, but it'll come back.
It'll come.
We know
4 targets. That game was weird.
CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase. Like, obviously, these are all guys going the first round. But when you get deeper in, you can still find starting caliber players
100%.
In the 3rd and 4th round, especially at the running back position.
And when you get to those 3rd, 4th, 5th round, you're looking for somebody like your first couple of picks are like, okay, those are your studs. Then you go, kind of my strategies, you go 3 through 5. Okay, you're looking for consistency. Then 6 on is you're safe. Exactly. Your guys are your flexes, your wide receiver 2s, your running back 2s. Then when you get to 6 through 8, you are strictly looking at opportunity and potential. So the guys that can boom for you, right? You're not picking a consistency guy in the 8th round. That's why I don't like getting guys like Njoku. I don't want Njoku in the 8th round. I don't. I'm not looking for a consistency guy in the 8th round. Tight end's different. But if I'm going to pick somebody in the 8th round, I went with somebody like Warren. I would go with somebody like whoever else is available. Njoku's a bad example. He's getting old. But just an example. Just an example.
What we saw, if you watch the Browns game, is there's a young rookie tight end that looked great, Fannin Jr. He looks really good. He got 9 targets for the Browns.
I did not know this. I watched a lot of highlights, but I didn't look into a lot of stats. I did not notice that. That's the thing. I've always hated Njoku just because I think he's a cool player. He's always a little slow out there.
A lot of injury prone.
He's an old stud, like we've seen with Kittle. Kittle being hurt now. I critique Dayton, one of our friends. Sorry, I should say a friend. A friend, he loves Kittle, and he picked him high this year. And I go to him, I go, I'm sorry, I hate that pick. You relying on old guys who are injury prone, old stars, mind you, he's a great player. Back to our main point, those guys down there, you're looking for the studs.
Second year breakouts, potential to take a starting running back spot. Like that's where those rookie running backs that I drafted should be going. But because they're so highly touted at a college and they look explosive in preseason, their ADP is higher. Their average draft position is a lot higher. So you have to take the risk earlier, which with the way I drafted was not a smart decision.
He had a poor draft. And the thing is, I think the problem that I had with Louis' draft is he picked a consistency guy, but I don't think he picked a great consistency guy. Obviously, Ladd's awesome, but when you look at those consistency guys, again, you're looking for the 13 targets, the deep receptions. When we say Ladd's consistent, he is consistently 8 catches, 7 yards. Awesome. That's awesome. But that's what Ladd is. He's 15 points. Sure, he gets a touchdown here and there, but he's not a touchdown machine.
When he gets a touchdown, he gets to 20. Maybe. Sometimes he gets to 18.
And that's really good consistency for 4th round.
Definitely. But because he was so hyped because of how well he performed last year, and they expect him to take a leap, but they shouldn't take a leap. They want to be a run-first team. They have, they added Keenan Allen, and Quentin Johnston ideally should take a leap as well, and which he is doing.
Right. And guys like, what's his last name for the Patriots running back? Henderson?
Yeah, Travion Henderson.
Henderson? So Henderson and Harvey, guys like that, like we talked about, should be going in the 5th, 6th round. Their ADP is higher, and they're also going higher in our specific league with how our friends work is they always, always, always go running back heavy.
For real.
So guys, you think Chuba Hubbard might make it to the end of the 3rd round, maybe early 4th round. They just don't in our league.
Not in our league, no.
Jonathan Taylor was picked in the 1st round. ADP was 18. So he's projected to go mid of the 2nd round. He gets snagged in the 1st round. That's how our league goes. That's how our league has went for a few years.
Yeah.
So those picks that should be later, he now has to reach because now he's made first 3 picks, wide receiver, quarterback, wide receiver, and now he's getting nervous. And not to mention, after making 3 picks that I already questioned, Jamar Chase is unquestionable, but Ladd and Josh Allen that I questioned, he then again goes another wide receiver. That's where I was really like, I almost want to call him like, Lou, what are we doing, bro?
Process.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's pretty simple. I mean, so I went wide receiver in the 4th.
You went Marv, dude.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, he has back-to-back, so he goes Marv.
And then
he goes
Henderson.
But, again, he's passing up on guys like Kenneth Walker, Aaron Jones. Mind you, they're not great players. But, again, that's kind of consistency.
They scare me.
I know they're scary, but they're consistent. K9 had a bad week. Bad example.
Yes, K9 had a bad week.
Aaron Jones.
There's a lot that goes into that, before the draft. But, after those first 3 picks, somebody I love this year is Marvin Harrison. Like, he's somebody that could be, like, people throw out like league winners is the idea. Is I think he can take a massive jump and have a lot of touchdown opportunity because he's that guy. And I think the Cardinals offense should be better with the balanced running and passing attack. And really, there's nobody else in that wide receiver room other than Trey McBride at the tight end position. Good. All right. Other than Trey McBride, so I really liked him there, and that's why I took him. And I was really hyped on Travion Henderson as well, which I still like him, and we'll see what happens.
Right.
Because the Ramondre Stevenson's ahead of him, a lot of fumble. He's not a trustworthy guy in my opinion.
I think Ramondre Stevenson is definitely on the decline. I love him as a player. I think he's an absolute ground and pound kind of guy, the one that works hard. But likability doesn't matter in the league. It's performance to an extent. So
and if you fumble, especially for like a coach like Vrabel, like those old style, like Bill Belichick style coaches, you're benched.
And not to mention, it's like I said, performance matters. And you can only be so likable for so long where it's like, hey, fumbles are huge. Turnovers are so huge in the game. It's like, especially, and the fact that he's turned the ball over enough to become a guy known for it, that's a problem, right? Like you can fumble here and there. Everybody fumbles. But when you're starting to get known for it, that's when it becomes a problem. Like Johnston with catches. Yep. When you do it so often that it becomes part of your reputation, then it's like, it's really hard to get rid of that. Because even if you have a season that's great and you only have a couple of fumbles, those fumbles you do have, hey, well, this guy,
here he goes again.
Always fumbles,
here he goes
right?
again.
That's what it's really about. So the reason I'm critiquing Louis' draft now is the trade he made is he traded Harvey and Ladd McConkey for
Tony Pollard and Cedric Tillman.
Thank you.
Tony Pollard being lead back for the Titans, in case you didn't know, and then Cedric Tillman being wide receiver 2 for the Browns.
Yep.
And he had a good week.
He did. And for those of you who don't know, I've always loved Tony Pollard. This goes back to years of us talking. I've consistently talked about how much I love Tony Pollard. I love the way he plays the game. Besides the point,
had a lot of juice too.
Right. Liking somebody only goes so far. But like we talked about, with that volume, with that consistency, 18 touches just in the run game. I don't know what he had for receptions. I didn't see that stat, but that's what you're looking for.
2 for 30, I think.
Granted, not to mention, did he have a great week? No, he did not. But
against an elite Denver defense,
he had an okay performance with a lot of touches. A bad fumble that happens. Okay, he's not really known for that.
He's not a fumble guy.
He's not a fumble guy. But to have that much work against an incredible defense, the fact that the Titans were in a game against such an incredible top 3 defense in the league, and he still had that many touches, is super, super promising.
Yep.
A lot of guys who play fantasy don't look that deep into it. They say, "Well, my guy had a bad week. Let's get rid of him," and that's fine. Louis got a really good pickup for that. Giving up Ladd little kind of sucks because Louis' rest of the lineup does kind of lack consistency with guys like Devonta Smith, who are so up and down. One week can go for 11, the next week can go for 1.
Exactly.
Every single week.
He does that all the time.
That's what Devonta's known for. Devonta is that kind of guy you get in the 5th, 6th round, and you're like, I am hoping for pop. But the problem is he goes earlier sometimes. And I think the thing we talked about with like drafting is, for me, like, I don't know, I've done it so much, and all of us have done it so much that he just mentioned it last week. I don't know if he said it on the podcast or just between me and you, but you have to let the draft come to you. You have to let things fall into your hands. Get those picks that, maybe take a little risk here and there, but don't do so much research and so much thinking that when you go into a draft, you know exactly who you want every single round, right? I think I had one player that I was like, I really, really am okay with reaching for him early, and that was Jonathan Taylor. I didn't end up getting him. I was willing to reach for him in the 1st round. I was going to.
Yeah. What pick did you have in the first?
I had the 10th.
It was the 10th.
So
I like the 10th spot.
Another mistake I made is I trust my friends and I love my friends, but don't ever talk about your draft strategy before it.
Never.
I go up to Dayton, who had the 8th pick in the draft. No way in heck did I think that he was going to reach for Taylor in the 1st round. I go to him. I say, no matter what, I'm picking Taylor in the 1st round. I love Taylor this year. I think his ADP is way too low, and I would love to have him on my team with such a running back heavy league.
I love Taylor as well.
2 picks before he takes him. That was very unfortunate, very upsetting.
It's hard to like see that and be like and pretend like it wasn't what you said to him.
And the thing that frustrates me is I go to him and I kind of say to him, I'm like, hey, like I can trust you, right? I didn't think he would reach for him. He's like, don't worry about it. I don't think it was a crazy jerk move.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't love it, but you know what? I still end up with a really good draft. If he wants to reach 10 picks, that's on him, and whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. So back to your trade.
Yeah.
The reason I'm critiquing his trade is, do I like the trade for him? Yes. Tillman had a good week. He looks good. He had a good week on a very low scoring game. Tony Pollard looks good. A lot of touches. The reason that I would say it sucks for Louis where he is right now is because of the fact that he's essentially trading his 3rd pick and his 6th pick.
Yep.
3rd round and 6th round
for like a 12th round.
I have it right here. Yeah. For Marshall's 6th round and 11th.
Yep. Now it's
essentially he's giving up a 3rd pick for an 11th.
I can't hold on to the bad draft I already had
Yeah.
and look at the draft board and be like, oh my God, I'm
Right.
trading draft picks. You know,
Right.
I've already made my mistake and I have to move on from that. And now with 1 week of knowledge, you know, you look at the waiver wire now. There was nobody for above like 4 points other than quarterbacks. Now you have Quentin Johnston on our waiver wire with 11, and like there's a bunch of players above 8.
And he's gonna get snagged, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I have him, but I have the 7th, and I'm not gonna get.
You're not gonna get him. Yeah. So yeah, that's, and our league. Like I said, our league is very competitive. It's very aggressive. So
it's hard to trade with people too, a lot of times.
Yeah, people get really stuck up. They're not going to accept a trade unless it's clearly winning for them, which kind of sucks sometimes. But that's competitive. That's what it's 12-man. You know, you can't give up. Sometimes giving up volume hurts. Giving up your bench hurts, especially so early in the season. You know, right now you're thinking, hey, I can trade my bench for great players, and I have a great starting roster. Then bye weeks come around, and you're like, holy moly, what was I thinking?
You need to be safe for those bye weeks.
Right.
And if you don't have those wins, then you're trying to buy wins later in the season, and it's just a scary situation to be in. That's why I'm happy I stole one week 1. I'm very happy.
He did steal one. Absolutely stole one. His players played horrible, but you know what? Sometimes in fantasy, you just got to beat the other guy. We don't do the rule with the league medium, so it's not like
the league median.
Yep. So it's
which
not
I
like
was still above. I think. I think I might have been still above. I think I'm like at the median.
Right. Either way, unimportant rule. Most leagues don't do it. Don't even worry about it. Yeah.
You want to talk about your draft a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk about my draft.
Perfect.
So my draft, I was pretty happy with. Like I said, we talked about letting it come to me. I thought I let it come to me very well. Obviously, it started off a little rough with Taylor getting taken. I was really upset about that because one thing with me when I draft, especially in the last couple of years, is I've really struggled to have a good running back duo unless something kind of fell into me. I just wanted to have my first and second round pick be a running back, and love my running backs. I wanted so badly to have 2 elite running backs and just be happy. So my goal was I was going to go Jonathan Taylor and Bucky Irving. Like I said, we just talked about not having a plan.
Bucky Irving.
Right, I do too. We just talked about not having a plan. Don't come in with you know who you're going to get in every round. Don't over research. Right, a little bit's obviously crucial. Don't come in and say I have no idea.
No idea who these players are.
Exactly.
You got to know a little bit and know how to play the draft game.
That's exactly it. So I came with that idea, made the mistake of sharing it. I let Amon-Ra come to me. Totally good. Again, he was supposed to go a few picks earlier. I was happy at where I got him. I said, all right, Amon-Ra is that consistency guy. He can get touchdowns. He can go for 14 receptions in a game. He can have those massive 30-point games. And I really feel like his floor at the time, obviously last week.
Well, week 1 is, you never know. It's a coin flip no matter what. Every week is a coin flip.
But I felt like his floor is mid to high teens, which is really good for your first round. So I got him. Then I said to myself, okay, I definitely can't let a running back go. There wasn't anything I loved. There was a couple that were at where I was supposed to be, and I didn't like them. So I reached a little bit for Bucky. I think Bucky was ADP around 20.
He definitely was not ADP where you were at.
Nope,
because you took him ahead of Kyron, who I know was ahead of him, and a couple other guys. Who I know
I'm personally not a fan of Kyron. He is very touchdown heavy, and he's had a touchdown in the last couple of games, or last 9 games straight. That's exactly what you're looking for in a running back. But Bucky has the pop that I'm looking for.
Oh, yeah, he does.
I don't think, again, I'm going to eat my words, but I don't think Kyron has the crazy explosiveness that Bucky have. I think they both are incredible players. I think Kyron can go for a lot of touchdowns, but I like Bucky as a player, and I really, really like what he brings to the Bucs.
Most of Kyron's pop games are when he has 2. Sometimes, well, I don't know if he's had a 3 touchdown game, but he's had many 2 touchdowns.
It doesn't look like he gets a crazy amount of yards. It's just the fact that he gets in the end zone.
I had him last year, so I know the experience. Like, it's cool to see those touchdowns, but when you're seeing 16 carries for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns, you're like, wow, he got saved by
and that's exactly what, and that's plenty 20-point games last year where it's a lot of touches for under 100 yards, whereas Bucky had those 100 and change yard games. He is so fun to watch.
Breaks tackles, plays through injury too. Hard runner. I mean, it gets the passing game too, and what I think is going to be a really powerful offense.
I think obviously week 1 is a hard telltale because week 1's so hard for everybody, but I really liked where I got him. So I get him. Then I wrap back around to Chuba Hubbard. Again, if you don't know me, I love Chuba Hubbard. He was, again, great for me last year. Love Chuba. I always have loved him. So I got him as well. Then 4th round comes around, the 39th pick. Again, I'm not one to pick quarterback high. I let Lamar fall to me. It was the perfect spot.
It's a really deep spot for
really
Lamar
great
Jackson.
spot.
You got Lamar in a great spot.
Right. That was he's gonna 1 or 2 last year. Either way, it doesn't matter. They were close. Obviously, they were both MVP candidates. Why I disliked his. I felt like he reached for him a little bit. I let him fall to me 15 picks later. And again, obviously, week 1 shows that his player is better. His player is
for now.
15 picks player. I can't imagine it staying like that because Lamar is so incredible.
There's no way he averages. He can't. You can't have a game where you score 40
and
points.
And Lamar still had a bad game. I think he still had 27. Oh, actually,
29.
Look on his name.
29.
He had 29.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just behind Daniel Jones.
And we will get to that. Yep. So then I continue. I get DJ Moore and Judy in the next couple. I get Warren late, who I love.
Oh my God.
The problem is
Jalen or Tyler?
Jalen Warren. I get other Warren even later. I love Jalen Warren. I picked him right after one of my friends picked the rookie Steelers running back, so I got a little heat for that. My goal, hopefully, knock on wood, is to have Jalen Warren have a lot of good weeks. He had an okay first week with a touchdown. Sell him high. Sell him high with one of my bench players, and maybe get somebody who can fill my roster. Last year I did a lot of that. Pick guys who are good early and hot early. Again, everything's prediction. It's flip a coin, but I felt like that they were going to start to cool off. Traded them, and I set myself up for a championship. Last year, I had a remarkable team. Bijan, Chuba.
You lost to the champion.
Puka Nacua. I lost in an absolute shootout. That's going to happen.
Sometime soon we should go over last year.
It was crazy. But I've gotten. Let's put it this way. I've had 3. This is my 4th year doing it. All 3 years, I was either the 1 or 2 seed. And I got beat. Either an upset or an absolute shootout, and that's how it goes.
You lost to the winner, I know, twice.
2 out of 3 times, correct. Last year, I lost to the runner-up. So winner, runner-up.
Because Trey won the one year.
Yep. No, he beat me. Last year's the only year I didn't lose to the winner. Because Isaiah lost.
Oh yeah, Jalen won. Yeah, because I'm so convinced that Isaiah won
because of the week 8. We'll get there.
His week, he just. Ugh.
Also, if you're playing in a fantasy league, don't play in a fantasy league that goes to week 18. Make sure your commissioner stops at 17. We finally switched that in my 4th year. Another great rule that I'm very glad to
I'm so happy he did that.
Yep.
I'm not a big fan of the 2-week playoffs. I think, what is it? Our first week is 1 week, and then our second week is
1 week, 2 weeks, and we used to do
perfect. I'm totally.
We used to do 2. Again, we talked about the rule changes, and we talked about we talked last week about Fab. The more and more we think about it, the more and more how great, or the more and more satisfied I am with the rule changes we made this year. Again, you fight your battles.
The fact that he's willing to listen and even change it all is thank goodness.
He's awesome. We have a good commissioner. Then I get Olav in the 8th, who again after week 1, great 13 targets.
A lot of opportunity.
That is almost the volume of a 5th round pick that I got in the 8th. He had 13 targets on 7 catches.
That might be the most. Somebody had 15 targets, but that's might be the second most targets of any
13 targets is remarkable. I got Tyler Warren, the rookie Colts tight end in the 9th at 106.
That's a great
awesome
draft.
for me.
This is why I love your draft. You pretty much did what I would have loved. Like you have a team that I love Bucky. I love Chuba, and I mentioned Tyler Warren a little bit maybe.
You did.
These are all players I love.
When I picked Tyler Warren, everybody came to me and said, "Dude, that's a darn good pick," and I loved it. I let it come to me. I felt really happy with it. Then after that, it kind of gets unimportant. Besides this one right here, Hollywood Brown in the 13th.
Huge.
He had 14 targets, 16 targets the first week.
There you go, 16
on 10 catches. So,
oh man,
I am sitting pretty. And then he knows some defenses. I feel really happy.
Kept it simple.
I went 3-0. I have 3 fantasy leagues. 1 with him, 2 with him, a keeper. Regular redraft, and then I'm in another one with some family friends. I ended up going 3-0.
Nice.
Good job. Yeah, it's good. I'm obviously this is my main league, so I'm fully invested in it. But I'm really happy with where I'm at. And I'm But even the thing about fantasy football is one thing I've always said. The problem that I have with winners sometimes and people who are in first that I've see is they get comfortable.
Can't get comfortable.
If he knows me, I will talk about trading every single player in my week. Every single week. It doesn't matter if I'm 8-0.
If you think you can get value.
If I think I can get value, I'm going to trade that player. And you can't be comfortable. That's exactly what it is. Like
you
right now,
comfortable, you'll lose.
I love my team. I love my bench. Even the guys that got in the 13th round. I'm already looking at trading them. Just
trying to swing to get more value, to get more consistency, to get that guy that you think can be explosive every
That's exactly it. I was just thinking. I was looking at one actually where I was going to trade. I was debating offering. I think Isaiah has Flowers. And I kind of noticed that now that he has a few his team's good, but he has a few semi-weak players, and he had a really good week because I feel as though a few guys that shouldn't have popped really popped. Yes. I don't see them consistently doing it. So he has Zay Flowers? No, who has Zay Flowers?
Is it?
Real quick. And I'll tell you.
I think it's Shock. I think Shock has Zay Flowers.
Shock?
Maybe.
We'll continue.
Yeah, but back to talking about like staying still on top. I mean, I've rarely been the first seed. I think I was the first seed or the second seed one year. I had like 10 wins, and I won the first week, but then second playoff matchup I lost, and just injuries happen. If you're sitting there, injuries will happen. Yeah.
For this league, I've been all 3 years. I've been somewhere near the top. Like I said, I put a lot of effort into it. There are good and bad fantasy football players, but it's also luck. That's how the game goes. Well, okay, I'm looking at Reese. Reese had an incredible draft. It's not working out for him. Worthy injury for him. A couple players that really don't look good. So now that he is in kind of desperation and kind of looking, he
needs more depth.
He needs more depth. I was debating offering him this. Tell me what you think. Obviously, Zay Flowers had an incredible week 1, so it's going to be hard to get him from him right now.
It's hard to pull him, yeah.
But I was debating offering Zay Flowers for Jalen Warren and Chris Olave.
He's definitely not going to take that.
I don't think so, but I don't think it's a bad option. Obviously, the draft analyzer on ESPN says I lose it tremendously because Zay Flowers 84
it
rating.
Says you lose that
because Warren has a high rating.
See, I don't look at those.
See, you shouldn't.
No,
but I don't think it's as bad of a trade as you not.
I don't think it's a bad trade, especially if somebody needs depth. And Zay Flowers is the number one. He's definitely the number one.
Do you think I should give him Hollywood instead because of the Xavier Worthy injury?
I think you definitely have a way better chance of getting it off if you give him Hollywood instead.
Okay, maybe I'll text him. Besides the point, like
definitely
text.
I'm
just always thinking, just because like I just want to know what can make my team better in the long run. Like there's some teams.
I love that. There's some. You have a stack with Lamar. You have Lamar Jackson. That's a great stack. Yeah,
a lot of things you got to think about. But yeah, so that's about it for week 1 of fantasy. It was a good week. We have probably a lot more to talk about, but
we should talk about our highest point scorer in the week was team-wise was Isaiah. He dropped 145.
Yep.
In case I didn't mention last week, which I think I did, I'll bring it back up. We have a PPR league, 4-point passing touchdown league. So that's what we run. And yeah, so he dropped 145, and I think our lowest score was I think Jalen had 76 or something. So kind of a rough week.
It's up and down. Hey, for the first week of this first week was incredibly low. So many players.
So boring until the last game.
I think if you looked at the first 12 picks of the first round of the draft picks, no one was great besides
CD. CD could have been better.
He had 17?
18. I think it was 7 for 110.
For a first round draft pick, that's not it's still
Bijan,
good. 7 for 110. Bijan had a good week.
McCaffrey.
Maybe it was the first 2 rounds. I think they took 12 players out of the first 2 rounds, and they're like, look at these 12 players. It was unreal.
When you're drafting a first round player, the fact that only 3 of them hit is insane.
Jamar had 4, and then Amon-Ra had terrible. Amon-Ra was terrible. Nico was terrible.
Nico was really bad, surprisingly.
Yeah, you could look at a lot of players and say the same thing. It was gross. It was a gross week. So
yeah, pretty much the only ones that hit were McCaffrey, Henry. Because I think Henry went the first 2.
Right.
Probably. CD, obviously.
So yeah. All right. To give Lewis a little more talking time, here's the trivia I have for today. Okay. This is a fun one. I saw this on First Things First. A couple of these are a bit of a stretch. Okay, but it says, what are the 12 U.S. cities that have all 4 major sports? Okay. The reason why I see some of these a stretch is I'll give you hints and I'll explain when we get there. Okay.
So
the major sports being, let's see if you can get the major sports.
Football, basketball, hockey, and baseball.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Wait, football, hockey, baseball, basketball.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Football, hockey, baseball, basketball.
Continue.
I just said them in different.
The 12 U.S. cities, so not states, cities.
Well, New York.
New York City.
Obviously,
Good.
New York City. Chicago.
Yep.
Los Angeles.
Good. 3.
There's how many? 12?
12, but again, few of them are a stretch. So
Dallas? No.
Good. Yes, 4.
Because they're called Texas Rangers.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Some of them are going to be like that.
No. Florida.
What city in Florida?
Tampa Bay.
Nope.
Miami.
Good.
San Francisco?
Yes. That's a good stretch.
State.
So Golden State and San Jose Sharks. That's a really good stretch. That was one I did not think you were going to get. Really good job.
Thank you. Boston?
Yes. Good.
I
don't know where you're at. So you got New York, Los Angeles,
Atlanta,
Chicago. Not Atlanta. They no longer have a hockey team.
Oh, they don't. They never had a hockey team.
I think they had one called the Thrashers at some point. I think I saw.
Okay, you might be right. I just saw
Boston, Miami, San Francisco, and Dallas. Okay, so you're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 left. So it's actually a lot better than I thought. I had trouble. I was very surprised at some of these.
Okay, so I said Miami.
Yep. To add some hints, we have 2 East Coast, and the rest are kind of like
Philadelphia.
Good, Philadelphia.
Obviously.
1 East Coast, and then the last 3 are kind of like Central America. It's not East, not West Coast. They're just somewhere in the middle.
No,
not Milwaukee. Well, yeah, they have Milwaukee Brewers. They don't have a hockey team.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's surprising because it's so close to Canada, right in the middle of the.
Right.
Weird.
Yeah, no, at least as far.
So
correct me if I'm wrong.
Cleveland?
Nope.
East Coast.
2 of the teams are north, central. The East Coast is just East Coast, and then
my goodness,
the last one is more western.
Okay, yeah. This is.
Might need some more hints, maybe.
Yeah, maybe East Coast. Yeah, I can't. I'm blanking a little bit for some reason. But.
Okay, it was a city you went to. It was a state you went to recently.
Washington,
D.C.
Okay, yeah, Washington. Yeah.
Yep. Silly, right?
Yeah.
One of the cities in Central America, all their teams start with the city, whereas the other 2 have the state in one of their in a couple of their names. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So, Northern Central America. Every team name.
Western.
One Western. Yep.
Vegas.
A little more east of that.
It doesn't have a little more east of that.
A little more east of that.
Oh, Oklahoma? No, it does.
A little more west of that. West, north.
Arizona.
Nope, a little more north of that.
Utah.
Okay. In Colorado.
Yeah. Okay, so just Colorado, but what's the city?
What's the city in Colorado?
Boulder?
Nope. This one might be a clip for TikTok. What is going on? A city in Colorado.
Oh, Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Denver Nuggets,
Yikes.
Rockies, Avalanche.
Anyway. Yeah.
Broncos,
yeah.
Okay. The last 2 are, think of a team that I like. Detroit. And think of a team.
I can't believe I'm blanking on these.
It's okay.
This happens to me in trivia all the time.
He ripped off 7. I honestly, if I was in his shoes, don't make fun of him. Okay.
You can make fun of him.
Make fun of him for Denver, not knowing Denver's in Colorado.
That's bad. I said Boulder. The biggest city in Colorado.
Boulder. I literally go to my dad because I did this trivia with him. I go, he couldn't get Denver either. I go, tell me the only city in Colorado. He goes, Denver. I go, can we even name another city in Colorado? He goes, Boulder, maybe.
Boulder.
So the last one is another team in the Lions division.
Detroit, Minnesota, Chicago. I said Chicago.
You said Chicago. Another one in ours.
Green Bay.
Okay, well, no. What's the other team?
Minnesota.
Okay, so what city?
Minneapolis. Okay, yeah. I said Milwaukee.
You said Milwaukee. So there's a trivia for us. Again, that's kind of a tough trivia, but he actually did fairly well. Like I said, we're also not huge hockey fans at all.
No.
So
hockey is I know the least about hockey.
Nothing. And that's just not our thing. So yeah, that was my trivia I had. Pretty good job. We'll do more football oriented trivia.
I gotta do some. I gotta find some for you.
Yeah, I love trivia, and usually it's me asking him. So
because you find the trivia, I usually don't watch the trivia.
Yeah. So
we talked about our draft. We talked about a little bit of the week's performance. Some players that we highlighted somewhat.
Let's talk about week 1.
Week 1 of regular football.
Week 1 of football's done. It's back. It's so great to be back. I love football.
Yes.
I'd rather watch football. Obviously, an incredibly miserable week for me as a Lions fan, but
we can talk about each other's games. We both have disappointing games to talk about.
So start with yours.
To go first?
Yeah, I'll comment a few.
Okay, so obviously I'm a Giants fan, as we mentioned last week, and people were excited for the season. There was some hope, and that got pretty killed instantaneously. Our offense looked just terrible. Defense was okay for the first half, but a lot of drops by the Washington wide receivers made it look a lot better than it was. At no point did I think we were going to compete. It's hard to watch your team go in the red zone, try 3 times, get a penalty, reset first down, try 3 more times, and have to kick a field goal. Tough to watch.
Like I said, I didn't watch this game all the way through, so some of this is new news for me. I like to spend my time and try to watch as many condensed highlights, recaps as I can because I'm very busy and try to expand my knowledge. But from what I watched, again, everything he's saying is spot on. It was a tough watch. And as a friend, I'm rooting for his team, and I don't like the Commanders. They beat us, Yeah. Just to highlight a couple of fantasy options, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, who people call Bill,
He looked great. He wasn't the lead back. Austin Eckler was, but about I don't know, it might have even been the second quarter. Austin Eckler didn't see a carry from second to third quarter,
Really?
all the way through halfway through the fourth quarter. He had 5 carries and I think like 2 catches or 3 catches or something. But then Krosky Merritt came in and he was the primary guy for a lot of that. Jane Daniels looked good, missed a few throws. Debo is back, I think. Debo's back in a major way.
I got Debo in our keeper league, and it's nice to have him.
Debo's back in a major way.
He looks good. Like I said, I only watched a few, but overall, frustrating week, I'm gonna say.
Definitely, no real fantasy options on the Giants side other than maybe the defense if you really want to risk it. But we have a hard schedule. Wouldn't even try it.
What do you think? Nothing really from Malik. Tough scene.
I mean, what
I did see he got into a little bit of a scuffle with.
There was a scuffle with Dable. That's gonna happen. Dable's probably not going to be here at the end of the year, to be honest with you. We're probably going to have to reset.
I like him.
Because, I mean, I like him, but a lot of, like, I'm watching us get in the red zone, like I mentioned, and we're doing cheeky trick plays, and we can't run the ball because our offensive line is terrible. It's just, it feels like we're stuck. But back to Malik. It was one pass where he usually catches it where he just goes up and mosses a guy, and it just went right through his hands. It would have been a big, 30-yard catch. But I think he had 5 catches for, probably 60 yards. I'm not sure about the exact number, but
cut that out.
But anyway,
you're cutting that. and okay, back to uncut. We're back. We just did something stupid. We just cut that out.
All right, I'll cut it out.
So talk about Russ.
I'll cut it out.
Cut that out.
Especially in the red zone, looked terrible.
Tough scene.
Gosh, a lot of. I mean, it just I don't know. Our running game looked really bad. There's a lot of negatives. People are already clamoring for Jackson Dart, as I anticipated was going to happen.
And what do you think?
I think I've seen a few people say when Andrew Thomas comes back, then Jackson Dart should come in so that we don't throw him into a situation where he's just going to get sacked over and over again and put him in a bad way to start.
Yeah.
I think we need a healthy offensive line to even give him an opportunity where he can succeed. Because right now we don't have an offensive line to be able to do it. We don't have a run game to be able to support him. So we gotta get healthy.
You looked rough.
Andrew Thomas.
Long story short, they looked rough.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Updated hopes. What do we think our ceiling is record wise?
I think the 5-win margin that I mentioned last time is my ceiling now.
Sucks.
I really don't see because like I said before, our secondary. You watch some of those highlights. Debo and Terry were making people look foolish out there. Zach Ertz had a couple drops where he was wide open in the center of our defense for 15-yard gains. A lot of drops, like I said, and our secondary is going to get eaten alive.
It's just hard. It's hard to be no offense, but the laughing stock of the league. It's people make fun of the Giants. It's another miserable year. It looks like there's no end in sight to this misery, and it sucks because one thing with me when the Lions were bad, it's you just look for a gleam of hope. What can get better? What can I look for in the future? Mm-hmm. And we've been as a friend of a Giant fan, they've been stuck for a few years. Just it's just another year of misery. There's just, and fortunately he's really upbeat, and fortunately he's a big football fan. But if you're the kind of fan that just watches your team and your team only, Giants fans,
wouldn't be watching.
It's another tough year.
The Giants,
unlike the other New York team,
the
Jets. Wow,
they were
what a
surprising.
Fun game. Everything I said, I was a big Justin Fields lover before the season, fantasy-wise especially.
Fantasy is unstoppable.
And it paid off immediately. What a fun game to watch. The only good game, really good game.
In the 1 o'clock slate.
I shouldn't say that. The Bucs game was good, but one of the top 2 games in the 1 o'clock slate. Absolute shootout.
For sure.
To all, as much as I hate to say it, Rodgers looked incredible.
It's really good. Bringing out the old fist
offense.
bump.
DK looks good.
He looked electric. He caught a little flat pass and just took off.
Right.
Something that I didn't see last year. I had him on my fantasy team and didn't do very well.
If you told me that Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers were going to kind of tear apart 2 pretty sound defenses in the NFL, they've been 2 good defenses for the last couple of years, and they tore them apart. Garrett Wilson with a great day. DK with a great day. Breece Hall
looks like he's
bad
back.
Not so bad day.
He looks like he's back. He looks like he's got his speed back, his juice back.
Yeah, it was. I mean, obviously a year's rest does help. It's the first week.
Now it's his second year off of that ACL tear,
which is good.
And because I watched Saquon the year after his ACL tear with the Giants, and that year after, everyone's like, "Oh, he's dead. He's done. It's over." Right. Then the next year, he's back.
Right.
This is something that happens. The year after a major injury is always going to be a downturn, which is something to keep keep an eye on when you're playing fantasy.
In my third league, it's only a 10 man. I want to say 10. It might be 12. Actually, it's 12. It's 12 as well.
The
I had
Yahoo?
the Yahoo League. Yes, with my other family friends. That's a 12 man. I had Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields on my bench and came out with a win. I'm so excited to have that stack in my lineup next week. They are fun to watch.
Yeah.
The Jets are back. If you're a Jets fan, unlike the Giants, like I said, that's the kind of loss you're looking for. The loss where there's hope. An absolute shootout. You almost kind of lost the game for yourself a little bit they had a costly turnover, no? Besides point, as a Jets fan, you are very excited for that. That's very exciting.
Yeah, Jets fans should be about as happy as they've been in in a long time. Since the signing of Aaron Rodgers is probably the happiest they've been right now. You should be. Justin Fields looked great. That touchdown pass, dropping it in the bucket to Garrett Wilson in I think it was the first quarter or something.
He's accurate. He's got an arm, and he's electric. He can move with the ball. It's very exciting. And I again, do I love Justin Fields? I never really liked him on the Bears because he would kind of run the ball over us, but his arm is really developed quick, I think. I'm very excited for as a Jets fan. They have a good defense. They have a pretty good offense. And they played a tough Steelers team. Steelers.
Very surprising game.
I'm not hoping because I don't like Aaron Rodgers, but the Steelers look like a team that could finally break that kind of 9-8, 10-7 streak and maybe kind of win a playoff game.
Maybe Mike Tomlin won't be fired.
Again, we should preface all this by saying week 1 is so hard. These are all wild assumptions, but we're just talking about. That's why it's so fun. It's because we can say whatever we want, and at the end of the year, if we were crazy wrong, well, it was just week 1.
It's good to look back at it.
Everybody makes over assumptions and hot takes week 1, but it's exciting, something new. A lot of things that you didn't expect are happening, and you want to talk about them. So
yeah.
Anything else to add about that game or?
I just think the Steelers. I think they look really good. And
either way,
okay. But back to
we're back. Steelers could be now talking about the Steelers
could be really good.
Really good playoff team.
12 wins is possible. I think they'll beat what I meant to say was I think they'll beat the Browns and the Bengals. I think they'll sweep them.
I think Steelers being a ceiling of 11. I think 12 might be a tiny bit too high. I think 11 is a fair ceiling.
Yeah, and that'd be a great year for them. I think
honestly, I think their floor really is 8 or 9 wins. I think they're already
as always.
Right, that's always their floor, but now it's like a legitimate that's a bad year. If they walk away with 9-8 as of right now, how they look, I think they're barring any injury. We always say that, but
that was a good game.
Yeah,
defenses need to pick it up though. That's very surprising.
Right. I mean,
it could just be an awesome, hot offensive performance. Not in game shape. That's what I've heard a lot about people talking about is week 1. More than I've ever heard people talking about not being in game shape.
Right. They always talk about these defenses are new. They haven't been used to playing a full game. It's a whole new battle. And I think the same thing goes for this. Is a lot of people don't realize is with film. Okay, obviously so defenses might not be. Some of these defenses are incredible because teams are still trying to get on their feet. But the teams that were ready, the teams that had good offense, or maybe had been building this for multiple years, the offenses that were ready are coming against defenses that are incredible, but defenses rely a lot on film. Okay, with new coordinators, new play callers. They don't know what scheme a team is going to come in and do. They're only guessing off their previous years. Obviously, every coach has a sort of rhyme or reason to what they do, and they have a shtick. Everybody has a certain idea. Certain defenses always play a 3-4. Some play a 4-3. Some play heavy man. Some play heavy blitz. Everybody has a way they like to kind of do things.
Kind of a baseline for their head coach.
So much of defense is watching film. So you're coming in week 1 not really knowing what this team has to offer. Exactly. And when they come and they catch you off guard, it's hard to get back on your feet.
Definitely. Yep. I think a good example, at least for offensive wise for that, is the Chiefs-Chargers game.
Right.
We go into that game thinking the Chargers are run forward. And the Chiefs a little bit too. I think last year they were pretty run heavy, even though they had Mahomes. Mahomes wasn't throwing the ball that much. So you go into that game and you figure it's going to be a little run focused, and Herbert's got 300 passing yards and comes out of nowhere, and now the film's out there. Now they can prepare. So tallying off that.
Yep,
for sure.
Yeah.
What's the next game you want to talk about?
I'll talk about my game.
Okay.
We'll make it short. We'll make it sweet. Absolutely miserable. It was tough to be a Lions fan this week. You wait all year long to watch your favorite team play after a very, very brutal first seed loss to the Commanders when you thought you could win the Super Bowl. You wait 8 brutal months, and all you have to see is TikToks about how we lost that game and how they scored 40 whatever on us. It was. You wait that long and you come back, and like I said, we talked about the loss for the Jets. When you have a Jets loss is a good loss. It's a positive loss. You can take so much from that game and have so much to be excited about. As a Lions fan, I have not a single single thing to be excited about.
Very bleak.
Zero. There's nothing besides maybe saying, "Oh, what's his name? How do you say it?
What?
Tesla.
Oh, Tesla.
Tesla.
It's Tesla.
Besides Tesla
What a
making
catch.
an incredible catch.
What a catch.
Yay! Awesome. We looked horrible. Our play calling was horrible. Goff looks fine, but he's just kind of He's just not even the bad passes. He's just making the easy throws. He's just taking way too many checkdowns, no risks.
You don't see that explosiveness downfield.
Our secondary once again looks horrible, even with the addition of DJ Reader. The Packers, as much as I hate to say it, they look like a top of the NFC kind of team. They look incredible. The addition of Micah, whether or not his stat line was incredible, he had a couple, good amount of tackles. He had 1 sack, but he's explosive. Just the addition of him, just the fact that we have to focus our defense on him, the fact that we had to put 2 guys on him when he's in the field, opens up a lot of players who haven't had as much potential before to be able to do some stuff.
He's matched up with Penei Sewell, who's awesome. Now, imagine what he's going to do to teams that don't have a Penei Sewell caliber player.
And when you get – Sewell's a very calm player. When you're getting under his skin and he's showing some fire, you know what you're doing is right. They look incredible. Their offense looks good. Love looks really good. Obviously our secondary is horrible, but he kind of just dropped it where he wanted to. Obviously the score wasn't like egregiously blown out, but it felt like a blowout. It felt like we had 0.0% chance to win that game the second after the first drive ended. And that sucks. That sucks as a fan. I just sat there in misery pretty much start to end. Yeah. So not really much to say. Like I said, I'll keep talking about the Packers. They look great.
Yeah, Packers look great. Jacobs didn't really get that much opportunity, did he? Didn't get that much run.
No, he had 16 rushes.
He had 16. How much? Do you know how much he ran for?
I don't.
I'm trying to think fantasy-wise now to flip it a little.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he had a semi-disappointing first week, but if he had like 14, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, that wide receiver room, Jaden Reed looked
he had 14 on the dot.
He did have 14?
19 carries for 66 yards.
66. Okay.
Only 1 catch.
I mean, that's a fine showing for him.
It's fine because our defensive line is pretty okay.
You're known to be a good run defense in the past few years.
Yeah, obviously with Hutchinson coming back, but
Reed looked pretty good even though he's injured.
Yeah,
Hutchinson
looked fine. It just there just wasn't much. It was very bleak. The Packers looked great.
Yep.
It looked like when they really stepped on the gas and tried, they could score on us with ease. And when they felt like relaxing and wasting some time, they relaxed and wasted some time.
Extremely versatile team.
They knew that they would get the ball back within the next couple of minutes, so they had nothing to worry about.
I mean,
nothing like taking 9 minutes to get 3 points to let the Packers score 7 in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Think about the free agents that they picked up in the past just 2 years alone. You got Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney last year, Pro Bowlers. Then you have Micah Parsons.
Out of trade, yeah.
Yeah, Micah Parsons, Pro Bowler, All-Pro player.
Even with getting rid of Jair, we just had no idea what to do. We couldn't get the ball to our players. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. He's awesome, but it's a lot about letting the game come to you. And it seems like their scheme with a new offensive coordinator was, all right, I watched Jahmyr Gibbs be awesome for a whole year and be one of the best running backs in the league. Let's just make sure we get him the ball and we'll win, right, guys? Right?
Just throw it to him, hand it to him, and figure it out.
Let's give him 22 touches for 45 yards. If Jahmyr Gibbs touches the ball 22 times, we have to win, right? Yeah, no. You dump it off to him. You dumped it off to him. Slam. You hand it off to him. Slam.
It was like the Packers knew that was going to happen.
You have to make your playmakers play. You have to get J-Mo in the game. You have to get Monroe in the game. You have to get Laporta in the game. And that's when Jahmyr Gibbs is best. When they're not expecting Jahmyr Gibbs. When you have Jahmyr Gibbs in the game and he comes in for a play and the whole defense says, hey, they're going to get a Jahmyr Gibbs, it makes it really easy to defend him. And we looked horrible.
Definitely.
We're awful. So, again, obviously it sucks. Sure, I think we're still a playoff team. I think we're still going to come back and bounce back. I think our coordinators need to settle in. I think Goff needs to be a little more risky. And I think, I don't know. Winning the division is tough.
Tough now.
A lot tougher now that we have them. Terrible.
Do you want to talk about the Falcons game?
Falcons game. Yeah.
Falcons Buccaneers.
Take it away.
Yeah, sure. So Falcons Buccaneers. Baker looked, pretty pedestrian first half, I think it was, but
I think it's pedestrian most of the game.
Most of the game, yeah. The stat line doesn't jump out at you, but a lot of huge runs, a lot of great passes. Igbukah looks amazing. He looks really good. He looks great. Bucky looks good again. I think Cade Otton was not very good. He had 3 targets. No, I don't even get. He had 3 targets and no catches. Mike Evans is getting old, but he's still out there. He's still making catches.
Yeah.
Rashad White didn't really see a lot of run, but that game it should have went to overtime.
Yep.
Missed field goal by Younghoe Koo.
Younghoe Koo. And the thing is, Younghoe Koo is an incredible kicker, and his first not even that, his first couple years were incredible. Everybody's saying he's the new future of kickers, kind of like what we see at Aubrey now.
Yep.
And the last year and now creeping into week 1 just does not look comfortable out there. I don't know if it's a mental game, and obviously there's so much mental game and confidence that goes behind the sport that we don't see, that only the professionals see. But it just looks like whatever he has that he used to, he obviously has the leg, obviously.
Oh yeah, he's got a cannon.
Just can't get it together. And not to mention in a dome, no win, no nothing. Just you in the stadium.
And it was a 30-yarder.
It might have been low 40s. Either
40. It was 40 on the dot.
More than the dot.
40 on the dot.
Either way,
but
it's a bad miss. With the game on the line, it's a bad miss.
I watched him hit a game-winning field goal against my Giants my first time I saw the Giants win. So like I know what he's capable of.
And the thing is, I think we've just seen more and more. I don't know what it is these last couple of years with kickers. I don't know if it's more pressure or
I feel like it's like social media almost. Like I feel like they're listening too much.
Either the line is pushing more, and maybe there's not enough rules to kind of like with the hopping over, but there's enough that they should be able to.
They have enough time to get those kicks.
It's got to be a mental thing because some of these kickers are struggling.
Jake Moody just got dropped,
as he should have. He's the same thing. All last year he struggled, creeped into week 1. You can only wait so long for a kicker. Obviously, great kickers are 1 in a million. Not 1 in a million, 1 in 100
commodity.
But those good kickers you need them, and I don't know, and I think you can find a million Jake Moody's. You know, if you are missing a lot of kicks, you are not going to stay. Aubrey has a bad game. You know, the Aubreys and the Little now is a really good kicker. Our kicker has been extremely good. Yes. They have a bad game. You're going to give them a second chance. But guys like Moody and starting to creep up Younghoe Koo, how much more leeway can you give him?
Because he missed like 3 big kicks at least last year.
The rope is starting to get a lot shorter as to how much
Bears kicker,
how much longer
for example,
for.
Bears kicker lost him that game. So it would have went in overtime.
I saw a lot of fans saying we need to have a serious conversation about Santos. It's like you got to make the kicks. You always talk crap. People always defend kickers. Like, you know, it's not the easiest part. Everybody makes mistakes. Yeah, that's 100% the truth. But when you are, again, we talked about it. When you're known for missing kicks in important spots, it's like, right,
easiest position.
Thank God for making I'm glad you made a field goal in the first quarter, and I'm glad you're making our extra points. But we need you when the pressure's on. We need you.
Matt Prater gets picked up off waivers, practicing with the Cardinals, kicks a game-winning field goal for the Bills. Mind you,
it was a very contested kick. They put a lot of pressure on him.
He almost blocked it. Hamilton almost blocked it.
A lot of hands up, and Hamilton was.
And Prater because he's a veteran,
just tunnel vision,
knows what he's doing.
Yep.
But back to the Falcons now. Penix looked great. I think. I don't know.
I watched the highlights that I unfortunately didn't get to finish them because I had watched the whole last fourth quarter. It was just a fun game. Like I said, really it's week 1. It looks like you see a lot of teams that have some bumps and wrinkles to kind of smooth out. But yeah, that game was fun. It was a great game. It was really good. It was Baker Magic again. You know, it's a good game-winning drive. Bijan looks great.
Bijan looks electric. So fast. Could be. It's hard to say, but he could be like the best running back in the league by the end of the year.
Bijan is incredible.
He looks amazing.
He's good.
But that Drake London didn't look very good. Penix kind of spread it around a lot.
Yeah, he did.
Ray McLeod might have been their leading receiver.
But not to Pitts. Don't worry. Not to Pitts, guys.
He got a couple.
Another year. Remember when he got drafted and he was supposed to be the sensational guy?
We were supposed to draft him at 11. And I think he went ahead of us at 8.
Yeah.
I think the Falcons drafted him at. He was the big hotness coming out.
People thought he was going to be the next,
like Calvin Johnson or something.
The next generational tight end talent. The next Gronk.
Nothing.
But yeah.
Another disappointing week.
We can kind of lump everything, even including like the size of the Lions game. You can lump together the Rams game, the Titans game, and the Seahawks game to really not so great offense, a lot of costly turnovers, really, really, really sloppy football. I don't know if it was really good defense or not a good game plan or bad offense or a combination of both. All those games were literally identical. Low scoring, boring as crap, really high school football-ish, a lot of turnovers, a lot of costly turnovers.
Really gross plays, a lot of fouls, a lot of holding calls,
so many penalties. Yeah, really dull. Don't even really need to speak on them.
No, those ones we can just I thought one thing I would like to say is I thought Cam Ward looked really good. A lot of drop passes.
Calvin
Ridley. Did you watch that highlight reel? Cam Ward was throwing bullets right where they need to be and just drop.
Absolutely sickening.
Embarrassing.
Absolutely sickening.
Because he looks really good, and he's under
He
duress.
And against a really good defense too. Like we keep talking about that. That game was he could have won that game at any moment.
The Broncos are like they're easily a top 5 defense this year. They will be by the end of the year. They are amazing. They might be the best defense in the league,
arguably.
And it's like he looked good. He just needs his receivers to catch something.
Calvin, and not
and for his coach to know the rules. Did you see his coach didn't know the rules?
I did see that. And the thing is, Calvin Ridley's shots were not contested.
No.
They were good balls. But besides that, besides those, it wasn't a lot of excitement.
Yeah, I guess. Did we talk about Monday night? Do you want to end with a Monday night?
Let's do a quick Daniel Jones conversation.
Oh yeah,
talk about Monday night.
Definitely.
Then we'll end with the best.
Yeah, let's talk about that Colts game,
and then we'll do potentially the best game I've ever watched in my entire life.
It could. Okay. It's up there.
We talk about Daniel Jones. My whole family's Dolphin fans, as I mentioned.
Yes.
So I watched that game start to finish. He looked incredible. Obviously, yes. I don't want to tell Louis that. I texted him about it.
You don't want to tell me. You texted me.
I told him. Louis gets really defensive about stuff like that.
Not much anymore. I'm learning.
But he did not like to hear that Daniel Jones was having a great game. Daniel Jones had the most passing yards he's ever had in his entire career in the first half. He looked
most for a Colts player.
He looked incredibly comfortable. He spread the ball out. He used his weapons that he finally has. He finally has
weapons. That is true.
And again, Dolphins defense is not good, and they had the ball a lot in their hands. But man, he looked so good out there. Awesome. I really can't lie. Again, mind you, the Dolphins are not good this year. Very, very obvious to say, but he looked good.
He did look good.
You see, guys, the same thing. You look at Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is a good player, obviously, but Trevor Lawrence played against the Panthers. Panthers are a horrible, horrible defense. He didn't do anything spectacular to impress me. Daniel Jones obliterated
He was in full command.
Obliterated a bad defense. He scored 7 out of 7 drives. He has points at every single drive.
He was in full
good quarterback. He looked like what Jared Goff is.
He looked like what we expected to get in the draft.
Yep, a steady quarterback he ran the ball in. He was powerful. He just looked solid. Again, week 1 over expectation. He's gonna be top 10 by the end of the year. That's obviously a crazy overreaction, but man, he looks good right now. And
I mean, even if we're talking fantasy wise, he could easily be a top 10 with his running ability and his rushing upside.
You have a new exciting. The thing is, when you look at the Colts, they have all the pieces to be a good team. They have a really good O-line,
good coach,
a good coach, a pretty steady defense. Some old vets with some young guys.
Surprising.
Yeah, pretty. They're just okay, I'd say. You have the deep ball tall guy like Pittman. You have the speedster like Downs. You have a new, young, explosive tight end like Warren, and you have an incredible elite running back like Jonathan Taylor. They have the pieces to be a good team.
And they have wide receiver depth. Alec Pierce, wide receiver depth. Alec Pierce deep downfield. They have Adonai Mitchell, who's another big body wide receiver. Like you said, he finally has weapons to throw the ball to, and they really equipped him really well, and they looked amazing.
Obviously, it was a few years ago, but the Colts, back-to-back years, tried to go with older vets to try to get a deep playoff run, like with Phillip Rivers and Ryan, and then they go to a young guy who ends up to be kind of a little bit of a head case with injuries, which happens,
Yeah, Richardson.
And Richardson is a wild card, but if Daniel Jones can continue this kind of play, they're in for a good year.
He could be.
I would kind of rethink their ceiling to 10 wins potentially. I could say if he plays like this, they could win the division.
I totally agree.
Because C.J. Stroud's sophomore slump has now become a junior slump too. I don't know if his rookie year was a fluke, but I love C.J. Stroud. I love his arm. I love his accuracy. But man, that sophomore slump has really carried to this year, and he does not look good once again. It's really unfortunate because he's such a likable player.
Absolutely, and that Rams team defense is good, but you do not expect them to be shut down 9 points to a team that won their division last year easily, and they won a playoff game.
Yeah.
What did they score on the Chargers? I mean, I know Justin Herbert threw 4 interceptions that game, but they scored, I think, well into the 30s, had to have, with that many turnovers.
And it's obviously an overreaction, but saying the Colts could win, if you look back, and I looked forward and I said the Colts won the division, I wouldn't be crazy surprised because Daniel Jones,
especially after week 1,
he looked really good. Again, not a good team, but won that there.
We'll see.
Yeah. Next, go to Monday night. Did you watch any of that or no?
Yeah, I watched the whole game.
All right, so you talk first because I watched a little bit of it. I watched the highlights today, and I have my own comments. Tell me what you think.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't watch the whole game because I was in a bowling league for the first quarter, but the first half was nothing special. I think it was 7-3 at halftime, or 7-9 or something. I don't know. It was not very good at halftime. But Caleb Williams looked apparently great in the first half. apparently, from what I was seeing everywhere.
I heard it was pretty. I heard he looked great in the first drive. Then the rest was kind of pedestrian.
Right.
Very just okay.
Yeah, I mean, in the second half, he looked
horrible,
terrible. I mean,
missed balls.
Yeah, geez. I mean, late to reads. It looked like when Daniel Jones was on my team. A lot of late reads. He tends to scramble way too much, which is known to do. Obviously, he had some great explosive plays scrambling. He scored a touchdown. He almost scored another one later in the game, but not knowing what's going on. He doesn't know. It's a lot of he is reading and reacting. He's not throwing with anticipation. It does not seem like he knows. There's a lot of throws, especially that last drive where they could have DJ Moore open up for a touchdown. You're not throwing with anticipation. You should see when you see that safety come up and you see him go. Obviously, I'm not a quarterback, but he should be able to see that, knowing the play. J.J. McCarthy looked awful in the first half. Horrible. Really terrible. I said in our group chat it should have stuck with Darnold, but I'll eat my words on that one. He looked phenomenal, especially in the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter mostly.
Especially in the fourth quarter because the stat line at the end of the day doesn't look great.
Nope.
But he made the right decisions. They have a great coaching unit. That defense was firing. And they're just, I feel like they're just back where they were last year.
Yep.
Honestly.
It looked like McCarthy slept for 3 quarters and woke up and go, holy crap, I got to win a football game.
I'm in an NFL game. Yeah,
yep.
For real. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go back to Caleb with that. I was watching a lot of highlights, reading a lot of reports. Yeah, they just said he just looks bad. He just looks uncomfortable, kind of like a lot of the conversations that you talk with like Tua. When Tua, like, you just can't be comfortable. He has the accuracy, he has the weapons. I mean, to say that Caleb Williams doesn't have the weapons is silly. You have the best offensive mind in the league, in my opinion. You have, Rome. You have DJ. You have Swift. Again, a lot of guys who are a bit older, but still have a lot of very good potential and a lot of talent, and a pretty okay defense. And he just didn't capitalize. The first drive looked incredible. They've been working on every play in that drive for the last 4 months.
That's scripted.
So I have to kind of fill this in quick. Because when we say scripted, we don't mean like the NFL is writing a script to the outcome is predetermined. We mean scripted like the coaches script plays, the first 20 plays, each offensive coordinator or a head coach will script that group of plays to start the game with. That's what we mean when we say a script. Figured I'd just add this in for clarification. Here's the rest of the video.
Every play in the first drive is scripted for those that at least I shouldn't say that. Just about they know exactly what they want to do in their picture perfect drive. They know exactly how their first drive is going to look.
It's usually first 20 plays are scripted.
And they practice over and over and over again. Then after that, when it's now situational and calling, he just could not find what he needed to find. It went from great to good to bad to worse. He just declined as the play went on. And honestly, on his decline was McCarthy's upline. It was very. I was watching that game, sitting there and saying, "Yep." I like I said last week, I was really surprised that the Bears are the lowest on the totem pole in favoritism. I said I knew the Bears were going to win. The Bears look good. This is what I thought. I don't think the Vikings look great. They looked a little confused out there.
And I was in agreement with that.
He goes, "Yep, I totally agree." And just as quick as I said it, about one play happened and it switched. A huge thing for the Bears that I saw was penalties. Oh my goodness, that was a hard watch. That is sloppy, embarrassing, gross football from an incredible head coach. Golly, it was third quarter. I saw eight penalties for 96 yards. That was third quarter. I had to go to bed. I couldn't even watch it.
What was it? 8 for how much?
It was 8 for 96.
So it was 12 for like 120 or something. It was a lot. But some of the penalties were pretty egregious. That holding call was stupid. I thought one of the PIs was stupid that ended up with the touchdown pass to Aaron Jones. The one just before that where it's third or it would have been fourth down if the PI wasn't called and there wasn't a pass interference call, which then led to that touchdown pass. So it's hard to know. I think the Bears definitely should have won the game, but that doesn't matter. The penalties is way too much. 8 before that is unacceptable.
It was. The penalties were, I'm just looking right now.
No problem.
12 for 127.
127. Yeah. That was what it was. Sorry.
Very, very, very. It was very sloppy football.
Yeah.
And when you combine a quarterback who's missing reads with a lot of penalties, like as a football fan, like just watching a football game, the most painful games are the ones with a lot of penalties. Yep. They are so
we want to see the people
painful.
play.
You want to see people play. You want to see natural football happen. You want to see scoring. You want to see a duel. And like obviously you look at the score and it was a very close game. But man, it was. I was watching a little bit of it before I had to go to bed, and it was a painful watch. It's just like, missing players, penalties. Ben Johnson looked miserable out there.
All the time.
Oh, just
even when they were ahead, he looked miserable.
Even then, like McCarthy had a great fourth quarter, and that was exciting. But you're watching a whole lot of blah. You get a pick six. Okay, cool. It's a lot of just
a lot of injuries.
A lot of just punting, a lot of weird scoring, and at the end, McCarthy has a great fourth quarter. Bit exciting, but again, I went from literally saying that this is a painful kind of game. The Bears are going to win. The Bears looked like they were heavily dominating. It looked like even though the score was only 17 to whatever, they looked way like the same thing like the Packers lost. It looked like they were killing the Vikings, and then all of a sudden, one play happened, and it almost was like everything just went on top of its head. It just flipped to the Bears are now even more clueless than they've already been looking to be, and McCarthy's figured it all out. So
yeah, funnily enough, it felt like after the pick six that JJ threw, that was when it flipped. Which I thought was interesting because he came back on the field, and I think that next drive looked really good for them. The Bears' defense in the first 3 quarters was immaculate in my opinion. That defensive line was playing very well, and the secondary missing their top 2 cornerbacks was impressive to me. But then obviously it doesn't matter when you get a couple injuries, you get tired, and you just throw the game away.
That's exactly. Sorry, I was looking up a couple.
No, you're good. After that, Kevin O'Connell just dialed up a great game plan for JJ, and I mean, you got a great offensive mind like that. Right. You figure Ben Johnson,
right?
Caleb, it's just Caleb's not seeing it. That's what it comes down to,
and that sucks because
for real.
When you have, like I said, one of the best offensive minds in the league, and you can't find answers with somebody like that talking in your headset. It's hard to look. And I was listening today. I actually saw a few social media posts about the Bears, especially the Bears schedule. Oh my goodness! We'll go over it in a second.
I mean, I know the division is.
Oh, the division's tough as it is, but they also play. I know they play the Eagles. I know they play the Steelers. I can't remember all of them.
So they play our division,
but
so they can't play the Commanders.
Right, the Bears division, it was a Bears podcast, and they all as Bears fans had collectively agreed that they were predicting a 7-10 record. That's as Bears fans. That's crazy.
And some Bears fans are terrible.
No, these guys are very realistic. They're very, very good.
Yeah,
Bears
7
fans.
feels. I mean, that's an improvement from last year.
Yeah, but come on, with Ben Johnson and what you
feel
have,
like,
they have Lions.
The hype going into it.
Ready? Lions, Cowboys, Raiders, Commanders, Saints, Ravens, Bengals,
oh my goodness.
Giants, Vikings, again, obviously, Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers, Niners, Lions. It's a tough schedule. It's a tough schedule. And some of those are arguable. Some of those are flip-flops, but some are like, they're going to.
I mean, you could see them beating the Niners, but it's not going to be they're not going to walk them down. It's going to be a hard-fought one. Right. A lot of those games they're going to be struggling. That defense hopefully gets healthy. They're going to need the defense for sure.
Right. Yeah. So, last but not least,
last one was the greatest game of the week.
One of the greatest games.
Probably the greatest game of this year.
It might already be the best game of the year. It was remarkable. It was awesome. It was
of course, we're talking about
the Bills Ravens. If you didn't see it, go watch the highlights.
I'm sorry.
It's awesome.
You should try to find a way to watch the whole game, and again, because what a story. Yeah,
it just felt like I said, the Ravens were scoring at ease. Henry looks awesome. Lamar looks awesome. Zay Flowers looks awesome. Their whole offense looks electric. Bills' defense looks a little rough.
Terrible. They looked bad.
The Ravens.
Derrick Henry was running all over them. They looked bad. They looked bad. Secondary had nothing. Zay Flowers was eating them up. Lamar Jackson could do whatever he want. Every read action went perfect. Like I said, Derrick Henry's great. Mark Andrews was non-existent, but otherwise, they were just dominating them in the first half. And even then, not even that they were dominating their defense. The Bills' offense came out and only got stopped a few times. They're scratching and clawing, and they were just trying to stay above water. They were drowning and just trying to stay above, and they stayed up above water long enough, and they just. The Ravens' offense was dominating, and all the Bills had to do was just wait for one mistake to happen, and all it took was that one Derrick Henry fumble for the Bills to be back in the football game. It's over, and you give Josh Allen a chance, and it's what it seems like. Because he doesn't have the weapons these other teams have. Right. He's of course James Cook looked good, but his best Keon Coleman looked really good too. So if they come into their own,
but Keon Coleman looks good because of Josh Allen. It's the same. It's the Tom Brady effect. Josh Allen takes okay players and makes them look incredible. I'm not saying they're not talented. They still have to catch the ball. And
There's some catches Keon Coleman had where, there was the tip. Bullet left. Yeah, the tip was amazing. Probably one of the greatest touchdown catches and passes I've ever seen in my life. That was so cool. That's Madden stuff. That never happens. That was really cool to
It
see.
was awesome.
There was one bullet to the left. It was just in the middle of a drive where Keon jumped up and got it. Like it was not. It was over his head unless he jumped up and got it. That was a great play. I like the way they look, but Josh Allen just making plays, running around.
Yeah.
You can't get sacked. Can't get tackled. Bill's offensive line was dominant the second half. The defensive line on the Ravens side was they just lost it. The defense just lost it. After in the first half, there was like the first quarter, Bills score, 2 drives in a row. Bills looked 3 and out. I think they looked pretty poor.
Yeah, the Ravens kind of figured it out a little bit, and the Ravens defense is incredibly talented. They have so many studs on that defense, and as great as they are, like I said, it's the first week we talk about the full game kind of stuff, but as great as they are, they just didn't have an answer for Josh Allen. Josh Allen is that good that he can make the best defenses in the league question what to do. Both defenses look absolutely clueless out there. The Ravens just made one mistake, and that was enough for the game to be over. That's what happens in shootouts. You know, it's not necessarily, who's the better team that day. It's who made less mistakes. And Bills besides a couple of 3-and-outs, were pretty flawless. And same with the Ravens. They were incredibly flawless except for that fumble. really, really costly.
The DeAndre Hopkins catch?
Incredible.
I thought it was over.
It's a shootout. It was an absolute shootout.
Oh my God, what a game.
And it ended in incredible fashion with 30-whatever-year-old Matt Prater making the game-winning field goal.
40 now.
Crazy.
Yeah,
it was an awesome game. Again, I don't want to sit here yap about it. It is so awesome that I'm telling you to go watch it. Go watch the condensed highlights.
Absolutely. At least watch the highlights. They're 20-minute highlights, which
20-minute
doesn't happen for the NFL.
Right. On average, like an okay game is 14. Usually from what I watched, that was 20. It was awesome.
Great game.
So, you really can't choose a player on either roster. That's not good for fantasy-wise, besides the defenses.
Just choose the obvious guys.
They're just
all over.
All incredible. And it's not going to stop. Like, they're both doing that against each other in a shootout, both against Bills' defenses. Injury, not many great players, but Ravens' defense is incredible. And if you have any guy in the Bills, if they can do that against the Ravens, they should be able to do it against anybody.
Absolutely. And it felt like playoff football.
If you have any of those players, you should be very happy.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like that's pretty good.
It's a really good podcast. It's
really
much
good.
better than the first one.
Good job.
I think.
All right.
We'll see.
So, thank you again for watching the Cover 2 podcast.
It's been the Cover 2 podcast.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Got a little feedback on the first one. Like I said, I really worked on talking slower, talking quieter, and not cutting him off as much. So the first one was a tough watch. Don't give up on me. I'm trying to get better. We're still figuring out. Like I said, we're still trying to say the same way with the teams are in week 1. We're a little rusty in week 1 too. I'm trying to get it back from it being necessarily a conversation to a podcast. So hearing each other out, not cutting each other off, because we cut each other off all the time in real life, mostly me to him. But now it's different because when we get excited, we get loud, so our mics cut out. So like I said, stick with us. Let us figure out these wrinkles, and trust me, every week we do it is going to get better. I already think we made an incredibly great leap this week. So if the first week was a bit of a rough or tough watch, again, don't give up on us. So.
Definitely. Yeah.
Now we have a name.
Yeah. We'll have our profile pic will be in, our banner will be in. Hopefully, we'll be releasing some short form content on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, and hopefully maybe some Instagram Reels. We'll start opening up those. I'll start linking those in the description, and hopefully we can spread out a little bit and just continue this for fun. This is great.
This is good. Yeah. We're gonna get better, and this I already feel 10 times better about this one for sure.
Awesome.
So it's good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this has been the Cover 2 podcast.
We out.